So, I'm at a fork in the road. I hear Joe Biden went this way. I hear Kamala Harris and that crazy guy went this way. But then somebody told me, if you really want the man who likes Diet Coke, Orange Man Bad, went this way. So, I think that's the safest route. Stay tuned. Well, howdy folks, DaveMan here again, Rollman Revolution, down on the beach again. This is going to be the post-debate analysis, and the reason why I didn't come out directly after most of the mainstream did, right after the debate, telling everybody what it is I think and what it is I believe I saw, was simply because I knew that the mainstream media would do all of the talking for me. See, when you've been watching this nonsense and been playing in this game for as long as I have, you start to develop this pattern recognition that comes with the territory. You see how each newspaper and news agency operates. You can see the players that they pick in order to do their little bidding and, you know, kind of feed the rest of the day's news cycle out to the mainstream. But once you get the understanding of the pattern, you start to see a bigger picture being played out in front of you. Now, I didn't come out and say what I felt right out the gate, simply because I knew exactly how the media was going to present this. They were going to tell you about how out of touch Donald Trump was, how dangerous he was. You could see how he was, you know, skirned over and yelling, and he's delusional when he started talking about the cats and the dogs, but you know, being eaten. All of this stuff was set up in a way that if you were watching it like from an outside perspective, like sitting on the sidelines kind of, you could see that they were almost prodding and poking at the bear Donald Trump. It was a 3-on-1 contest that if you were really, really watching close, you could see that they were all kind of playing off each other. Each person kind of had, you know, a small part to play in it. But the whole goal was specifically to get Donald Trump uneasy. I thought I had somebody following me behind. Anyway, but the whole point was to get him kind of knocked off his normal, you know, mojo. And for the most part, I think they were pretty successful at times. They knew exactly which questions to ask, the order to ask them, and the proper response to give in order to try to flare Donald Trump up. And there were many cases in which he did get a little more elevated than he normally would, but if you were going to just base the debate on the substance in and of itself, all kidding aside, putting the labels apart, you know, like I've said many times in this channel, you learn to drop the labels, you'll start to realize that we're all the same. And you start looking at things from a completely different perspective. It's no longer, that's my Democrat or my Republican candidate. There's just a person in front of me, and I'm going to listen to what that person says. And if it doesn't make any sense, I'm going to call it out. And if it does make sense, well, then I'm going to give them props for it. Well, if you're going to just base the debate off of substance, Donald Trump won it. That's without a doubt, because he can point to the things that he has done in his prior administration that worked. He can point to the things that happened in the current administration, which Kamala is a part of, that didn't work. And you can use those reference points, but you can see how clever the media was when they tried to pivot it. Anytime he starts talking about facts, the media tries to steer it away from those subject matters and tries to put it back onto the positions or their talking points, which are going to try to make Donald Trump look worse. Now, for you young folks out there who I've been trying to center a lot of my content around, because I think you are the ones that are going to be the deciding factor a lot in this election, and I don't want you to be bamboozled. I don't want to tell you what to think. I'm just here to tell you what I know. And through the many years of doing this, look, I was just like you, okay? I was one of those guys who was hot on the trail when I just got out of college, thinking I was, you know, knew it all, and I have all of these groups and friends and all of this groupthink kind of going on there. I'm telling you, after I got out of college, I was so stupid because you start to realize that you get into that mentality of the people that you're hanging around with. And they may not necessarily be your ideas, they become the group's ideas, and you just kind of incorporate them. That's why I've always said it's very important for you guys out there. There's a difference between learning something and knowing something. Okay, now sometimes they go hand in hand. Like, you can go learn something and then go do it, and now you know it as well. So they kind of, like for instance, like a plumber, they may teach you the proper, ways of doing the digging of the trenches, blah, blah, blah. There's an instruction to it, but until you actually do it, you only learn the information from a third-party source, a book, blah, blah, blah. You learned it from someplace else. So the only way you really know anything in this world is by actually going to the place and doing it, or actually performing the exercise, or whatever the case may be, by just actually participating in the action for which you say you know. Now, once you do that, the world opens up in an entirely different way. There's so much stuff, my friends, especially you young folks out there, that they teach in the school system, as well as you know, that is so boring, and it seems like, why the hell do we have to learn this crap, right? And I'll tell you why, because they're trying to indoctrinate you. It's a setup game. It's why they keep repeating the same things over and over and over again from one grade to the next, and they just hack on a little bit more. The basics of education should be something like mathematics, spelling, your basic stuff, and then all the other things schools should be focusing on is teaching you how to navigate this place. Teaching you critical thinking, deductive reasoning skills, a way to look at every situation that you may encounter in your life and know how to handle it. That's what school should be about. Teaching the young person not what to think, but how to think through problems. And with this debate and with what you see being presented to you every single day. Look, it's not by accident, young folks, or anybody who's out there who's on the fence, that all of a sudden the celebrities are coming out in droves. They're trying to pull at your, because such and such likes me, it must be good. So, Kamala Harris, J-Lo likes her and Taylor Swift likes her, so obviously I should like her because I like those two people and they like me, so those people don't know you. And those people are paid to do specific things at a specific time. They just give them a call and say, hey, yo, we need your endorsement. And that's all they do. They just jump on the board and just say whatever they got to say. They're actors, pretenders for a living. And we fall for that crap. We gotta stop falling for that crap. It's about your life. It's not about the life of J-Lo and Taylor Swift. Those people have no concern. They have no idea what you're dealing with. It's so funny to me because we fall for that trick all the time. I did it back when I was in high school and college, and I'm sure you young folks are doing it too. Still, older folks are still falling for it. Anybody who still systematically watches CNN, MSNBC, or any one of those controlled CIA networks, well, I'm sorry. That's the reason why you're so confused and irritated all the time, because you really don't know what's going on. Because what they're telling you doesn't compare to the reality in the real world. It just doesn't. But my point for you, and for this post-debate analysis, is just for you to go back and watch it again. Watch it again. And I want you to just look at the individuals as if, look, I'm hiring this person for the next job, to run my company, okay? Did Kamala provide you with any new material that makes you feel that she is going to make the current situation, which right now she is in charge, in a sense, she is part of the Biden administration. She's been part of that whole program for the last 4 years, right? So the policies, even though she says that she said that she supported Biden in all of his policies thus far and blah, 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 she would take a few things different, but she doesn't say specifically what. When she's always asked questions about what specifically she's going to do, she can't give you anything. She's not equipped for that. She's not trained for that. And for you young guys out there, if you were, just ask yourself this question. If you were to go on a date and Kamala Harris was sitting across from you at the dinner table, how long do you think it would take you to figure out that she doesn't know what she's talking about? If, let's say, you brought up a subject and she starts meandering all over the place, and how long would it take you? I mean, that's the first thing I noticed when I saw her. I was like, really? That's the candidate that they're going to get? I mean, the problem with Kamala for me, because everybody knows that on this channel that I support Trump. I think that is the only answer. It's, I'm not saying that he is the greatest thing in the entire world. I'm not saying he's done everything right in his life. There's so much to go around. And that's why I say a lot of people take me the wrong way. But I look at the long game. I look at what it is and what it could potentially be. And then I look at the people in my life that I care about, and I know rightfully well that if Kamala gets into office, the suffering that you're feeling right now is going to get inherently worse. So my goal is to always look out for the people that I care about in my life. And I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be standing on a beach. I wouldn't be going out and talking to people, especially young folks, and telling you guys, you know, I have a lot of faith in you, because I remember I was a young guy too one time, and I remember looking at the older folks and thinking, God, those people are screwed up. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And now I'm that older guy, and now I know what you're thinking and what you're looking at, and I say, well, you know, if I had somebody out there, you know, when I was that age, talking to me, telling me, hey, look, I don't want you to listen to me. I don't want you to listen to a damn word that I'm saying. What I want you to do is to take action. I want you to empower yourself. I want you to go out and say, wait a minute. If I was hiring a person for my job or my business or for whatever it is I was doing, you have to listen to what people are really saying. Not about what they want you to believe, but what really they are, who they are deep down. When you pull all the charade of bullshit away. I am telling you, from a person who's been watching this political game for a very long time, like him or not, Donald J. Trump is what he says he is. What you see is what you get right there. And I'm not saying that he was a perfect man, because again, they asked that pinpointed question during the debates about that whole situation that happened in New York. And it's a very sore subject for Donald Trump, because he was involved in something. Maybe he got in over his head. We don't know all of the backstory of some of these things and how these deals work. A lot of people in New York are very sour because of what happened in that Donald Trump situation, and then the not paying the contractors. Look, I'm not going to go into all of it. Everybody who knows the backstory can look into it, but nobody's perfect. I said, in a world like this, there's nobody perfect. But sometimes, even the criminals in jail, and I'm not saying Donald Trump's a criminal, because I think that court case is bullshit, but I'm just saying, but even some of the criminals in jail, just because they are criminals, okay, and they broke the law, doesn't mean they're stupid people and couldn't do good for the world. I believe in the power of change, and I believe in the power of every human person's. So if you have the ability, and as I said, if you have power that resides within you, which I believe all of us do, and we just forgot about it, but when I see human beings walk around and I recognize that they have so much power to give, if they would just use it, God, this world would be a much better place. This world would be, we could do so much more. You see these cities, okay? I mean, I'll go into another video about that. Look, our history is a lie. So young folks out there, if you're a person who was in school and a lot of stuff, just seemed, oh, this is stupid, you're right, because it was stupid. It was all bullcrap. So, I mean, I can get into that a little bit later. We'll talk about that stuff. But in terms of where we're going in this election, where we're going, I want the young folks. I want this younger generation, the people when I was 20 years of age, okay, thinking about, man, I know I could do something great for this country. I know I could do something great. I want you to get out there right now and start to make a difference. Fight in your communities, but also look into it yourself. Empower yourself. By doing that, I'm telling you, my friends, you're going to see things from an entirely different lens. You're going to be able to answer the questions. Let me get out of the way here. You're going to be able to answer the questions that so many other people are struggling with right now, because you're going to have all of the tools necessary. Deductive reasoning, critical thinking, absolutely paramount in the world that we have today. That my post-debate analysis is just this. There's no doubt in my mind who won it. The question you have to ask yourself is, why is the media trying to convince you it was the other one? Why all of a sudden has the Screen Actors Guild and everybody with Hollywood and all of the media, online media influencers all of a sudden come out for good old Miss Kamala? Well, I can tell you why. Because Kamala is everything that they need so that they can continue on in their criminal organizations. See, Kamala's not going to be running anything if she is elected president. Much like Joe Biden, they will push her aside. They'll tell her to go up to the podium and wave her little hand every once in a while when they need her to. But bottom line, she ain't running anything. You're smarter than this, my friends. You're smarter than this. And the only way I believe that we're going to at least get a little bit of relief in this life is by recognizing where the dirty nonsense is. What was it? The Waltz, the vice presidential pick for Kamala Harris. He had his wife out there the other day, and she was talking about, we're gonna turn the page for Donald Trump. Yeah, we're turning the page. We're gonna turn the page and make this country better, and blah, blah, blah. She went on this big old rant. I'm like, turning the page means we're gonna get rid of the shit that we currently have and turn a page into something better. The current shit we have is you, Joe Biden, and Kamala. So I don't see what point she was trying to make there. But then again, this is what I say a lot of times. Democrats are famous for making these points that have absolutely nothing to do with it. The only time Kamala ever got any really good cheers when she started chanting out pro-Trump type policies, MAGA policies, no tax on tips and stuff. She doesn't have a platform. You know that when she talks, it's not really, at least from my perspective, it's not really genuine. Everything that happened in that debate, in my opinion, was scripted, very well scripted. And it was very important for David Muir and the other moderator, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but to present it in a specific way. Oh crap, here we go, another card again. But to present it in a specific way so that Kamala, could not fall off script. Because again, I said, if you watch her in other interviews, you'll notice that they have to give her very, very delicate questions. And even with some of the delicate questions, she can kind of lose herself. The problem Kamala has is anytime she takes a question from the public or from the media that isn't scripted, you get this dance. You get this, well, when I was a young girl, growing up in, segregation, she gives you this long-winded story, but never really gets at it. No, when we're talking about debate, we're talking about substance. When we're talking about, what you're going to do to make things better, you got to have a pinpoint policy. You got to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and to defend your policies backwards and forwards. Do you see any of that from candidate Harris? I need people to start critically thinking through this, because when you do, you'll start to realize that we're in the stage of all the bullshit, and the big clown show for what it is. There is only really one choice to try to make this insanity a little bit less. And that's really all I'm saying out there. This election is going to be the one where, if it doesn't fall in a certain direction, it is going to be a very uncomfortable place for what Americans believe America is. It's not going to be recognizable shortly if we continue down the roads we are currently on. And all I want to do is to inspire you to go figure it out, because it's your future. Okay? You can blame it on me, you can blame it on the generation before, you can blame it on anybody you want to, but at the end of the day, this is going to be your future. Don't sit here idly by and let them take it from you. I'm telling you, look into the stuff yourself. Deductive reasoning, critical thinking. Think through what's actually being presented to you. Think through. Stop listening to your friends. Think through it. When you do, and you come through on the other side, you're going to start to realize we're not that much different. They have been lying to all of us and presenting it in a way that pins all of us against each other. We got to be smarter than this. I'm telling you, if we do this, and we for the first time in my lifetime, come together as people, not just these labels, not black people, white, just people, I'll show you a brave new world, my friends. It used to be better than this. Something happened. But as long as human beings continue to keep trying to control other human beings, this will never end. I love you guys. I'm out here fighting because I want to see your life better. That's it. It only changes when you change, when we change together, when we fight for the things that we believe in. And that's it. That's it. All the rest of it is just fucking filler. It's all bullshit. But you're not, in my opinion. You matter, in my opinion. And that's the way our politicians in this world should be thinking about it. Governments in their own right are really illegal. Bob Marley was right. They don't have any precedence over anything. You're born into this world not knowing any of this kind of stuff. You're kind of forced down this line to have to participate and play. But I'm saying if you have any power over the whole situation, any at all, you should use it. Use it in a way that benefits you. Screw it. Use it in a way that benefits you in the sense that it's going to benefit all. Because at the end of the day, my friends, the rate we're going, the direction we're going, it's not going to be very fun to be living here very much longer. If you are an American citizen and have seen what it was versus what it has become, there are many other places around the world that are much better than this right now. And yeah, I don't say that lightly. I say that because it's very true. But the way we win is when we educate ourselves properly. Those debates, okay, didn't teach you anything other than to say it's more of the same. The same character, Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, he's good on policy. He's got 4-year track record of turning the goddamn country around, whether you want to admit it or not. It was better. And yeah, the other one, well, I don't want to say anything nasty. I'm trying not to. It's just, show me, tell me, explain to me. You can't because you have nothing. You have nothing to offer. And that's the God's honest truth. All right, my friends, I hope to see you all on out there. Think through the problem. I'm tired of seeing people use other people. I'm tired of seeing the good guys lose, and I'm certainly tired of seeing this elitist class purposely go out of its way to find ways to screw you over more. That's why I fight. I've lost so much in this, and it's like, at this point now, I will do everything in my power to stop what it is from trying to make other people's lives any worse. I refuse to see good people suffer. It's not going to happen. Not while I'm still walking and breathing. All right, my friends, please share this with a friend. Like it if you did, and leave me a comment. It helps the algorithms. They always say that. I'm not one of those people that try to promote my own kind of stuff or whatever. I just say what's on my mind. If this was good, share it with somebody. That's all. We need to start talking together. We need to start talking to each other again. We've got to stop assuming that the other person hates us, because most of the time, people just don't have the time to hate anybody. They're just too exhausted. So you'd be surprised how many more people. I talk to people all the time. Like I said, I'm out here all talking to young folks. You would be surprised how many people think the exact same way, are struggling in the exact same way. Maybe, it's in different classes, but it's all the same. We're better than this. We always have been better than this. And as long as I'm fighting, we're gonna get better. All right, my friends, said enough. I will talk to you soon. Take care.